Thanks, Mark. Good evening. I'm Joel Hills. This is Central News. 19 years after the death of a 79-year-old peace campaigner, Hilda Morell, a man has appeared in court charged with her murder. Builders labourer Andrew George was just 16 at the time of the killing back in 1984. Keith Wilkinson has the latest.
This is the man accused of a murder that's remained unsolved and highly controversial since 1984. Andrew Harold George, a teenager then, 35 years old now, a builder's labourer. He appeared in court number 1 behind a glass screen which surrounds the dock at Telford Magistrates Court. Andy George lived at Meadow Farm Drive in Shrewsbury. He was arrested on Friday and has been questioned by detectives at Mallinsgate Police Station in Telford. 2 charges were read out against him: that on the 21st of March 1984 he unlawfully and by force or fraud took or carried away Miss Hilda Morell against her will, that he murdered Miss Hilda Morell at Shrewsbury between the 20th and the 25th of March. 79-year-old Miss Morell was stabbed by her attacker. Police said she died from hypothermia. After her car was found abandoned, her body was discovered in a nearby wood. It was about 6 miles from her home in Shrewsbury. She was an outspoken peace campaigner with concerns about nuclear power, and the case became controversial because of allegations that her death was linked to British intelligence agents, claims that have always been disputed. At one point during the 10-minute hearing this morning, George appeared to be in tears in the dock. Magistrates remanded him in custody until June the 16th, when he's due to appear at Shrewsbury Crown Court. Keith Wilkinson, Central News.
As you may have just heard on the ITV News, parents on the school run could be forced to pay a congestion charge. That's just one idea being considered by the government in an effort to reduce the volume of traffic on our roads.
1 in 5 cars on the road is used for the school run. Keen to curb congestion, the government's now targeting parents to get cars off the road. Well, it's almost 3:30 and the afternoon school run is well and truly underway here at Moor Green Infant School in Moseley in Birmingham. But are these parents who are using their cars to come and collect their children adding to the congestion on Britain's roads? The government thinks so, which is why it's considering charging drivers on the busiest routes at the busiest times, including parents on the school run. Cars would be fitted with a tracking device and tracked by satellite. Other ideas include busing children to school in American-style yellow buses and staggering school opening times, but it's the charging which has angered the parents.
Nonsense. I wouldn't pay it. I've never heard such a thing in my life. It's disgusting. I've got a disabled son, and you know, how could I walk into school?
Cars are often double parked. They park very inconsiderately. They park across our neighbours' drive, so they prevent them from leaving. I think it's good that the government have acknowledged or recognised that there's a problem.
It's just an idea at the moment, but it could be up and running by 2006. Mark Goff, Central News.
Police investigating the murder of a boxing coach want to trace 2 people seen in a vehicle at the time of the attack. Joe Montague died from multiple gunshot wounds to his head. He was found dead at the wheel of his car outside his home in Newdigate Road in Coventry early on Sunday morning. The father of a teenager who killed himself while taking antidepressant pill Seroxat says new controls on the drug don't go far enough. He's blaming the drug for his son's death, which some experts believe increases the risk of suicide in young people. Here's Sandy Barton.
19 months on, and Christopher Keegan from Market Drayton in Shropshire still feels angry and upset. He claims his son Adrian would never have committed suicide if he hadn't been on the antidepressant Seroxat.
Adrian wouldn't have hung himself. Adrian wasn't suicidal. We know our son. We know our son would not have committed suicide.
19-year-old Adrian had relationship problems and was out of work. But after 2 weeks on Seroxat, he became withdrawn, and after 26 days, he hanged himself.
The 3rd week, Adrian's last week on Seroxat, he went very within himself, very quiet. It was very strange.
Seroxat was prescribed to 8,000 children and adolescents last year, even though it's not licensed. Today, the Medicines Agency said new data showed it shouldn't be given to under 18-year-olds because of the increased risk of suicidal thoughts or self-harm. Tonight's advice from the Medicines Agency comes too late for Adrian Keegan, but is certain to worry other parents and teenagers. The warning tonight, take advice. Stopping the drug suddenly could also increase the risk of suicide. Sandy Barton, Central News.
A father has been dubbed Super Dad after saving the life of his newborn son. Stevie Smith from Malvern in Worcestershire found himself delivering his baby at home when his partner Kim went into labour. The umbilical cord became wrapped around the boy's neck. But with advice from a nurse over the phone, he was able to deal with the unexpected emergency. That's all from me. Artie will be here at 6:30 tomorrow. Now, though, it's time to rejoin Mark for the rest of the news. From me, good night.